Hi, I'm Bill Bronchick, and I'm here with my good friend and colleague, Karen Conrad Metcalf, who is, I call her the Airbnb queen because she just loves this business. And she's so darn good at it. And the two of us are putting on a short-term vacation rental intensive seminar, which is coming up December 7th on a Saturday in Denver live. And if you can't attend live, you can attend streaming via Zoom. And if you can't even make that, you could register and get the recording afterwards. So we highly encourage you, after you watch the video, to like, subscribe, and of course, go to wealthbuilders.org where you can get more information about the event. Hey, Karen, I appreciate you coming here. I wanted to talk to our audience about 5 things they should really consider before they get into the vacation rental business, which is AKA Airbnb, AKA short-term rentals, just different names for sort of the same thing. But we're going to focus on the vacation rental side of it. What are 5 things I've come up with, I think, that people should consider? And I thought we'd go through them one by one. The first thing I thought was, what markets do people invest in, are the best to invest in, where they should consider buying vacation rental properties?
That is such a great question. And I think there's like a lot of different answers, but one of the things that I like to look at with vacation rentals is it a place that you like to be? The special thing about vacation rentals, we kind of put that in the name of, for fun and for profit, is to have a place that you enjoy being, because there is a lot that's required with vacation rentals. So that's obviously one thing. And then we've got a myriad of other things. But I'll just give you two more here real quick. Is it zoned for that? Or in other words, is the city or the area friendly to vacation rentals? And what is the occupancy rate or the desire that people have to actually go to that place so that you can find a good market where you can not only have fun, but make some money, Bill?
That's right. That's right. And you'd be surprised where the demand is. I mean, obviously, people want to go to, like, Fort Lauderdale, Miami Beach, things like that. But I once rented a vacation rental near Fort Campbell, Kentucky, which is in the middle of nowhere, where my son was in the Army. But there was only like 4 Airbnb properties in the whole town near there. And we had trouble getting it, and we paid it a premium price to get it. So you
There's a lot of those types of markets out there, Bill. It's amazing.
Right. Where Miami Beach might have just a few competitors.
Just a few, just a
Right.
few.
So what type of properties do you think people should be looking at? Houses, townhomes, condos, maybe even duplexes, big vacation of 5 bedroom houses or small ones. What do you think?
It all depends on the market. Let me give you a couple examples. In the area that we're in, there is a SpaceX that's nearby,
Mm.
and they want to rent for their guests big houses that are on the canal. And so it's just a special thing about this market where you could look at that and it would be viable to get one with 5, 7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms on the water, and you'd probably do pretty well. Other markets that you look at, you can tell, and we'll give people an analysis of that and how to look for it. A lot of people, especially around here, they want a single family property because they do not want to have a shared wall. And also it depends the amenities, what's important for amenities. And so here in Florida, it's really important to have a swimming pool. And of course, we'll share with people how to protect your liability or keep you from being liable with that. But in Minnesota, you probably don't need a swimming pool because it's pretty cold there and there's lakes everywhere.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Funding your purchase. I mean, do you have to buy it cash? Are there special loans available for vacation rental properties, or are they just like any other rental?
Yeah, they're a little bit unique, and there's a lot of avenues that people can move into vacation rental. For example, maybe you are in a primary dwelling that you want to move out of, and you decide that you want to retain that property and turn it into a vacation rental.
Mm.
That's a pretty sweet deal because you were able to get in with the primary dwelling financing and
Right.
then just hold that and, of course, get your insurances and things in place. Otherwise, I know, Bill, you're going to be talking a lot about creative financing, and there are pathways to finance vacation rentals that take into consideration what would be a typical earnings potential. One of the challenges with short-term rentals or vacation rentals is if you go, with a normal loan that we would call a conventional, like Freddie or Fannie, and they don't understand vacation rentals, they will want to see 2 years of tax returns before they'll borrow you money on that property. Well, that's just not feasible.
Right.
So, yeah, so we use DSCR. We do a lot of the BRRRRs, and instead of it being a long-term rental, we turn it into a vacation rental. There's lots of options, but you just need to understand the pathway and the products that are available.
Right. Okay. Next thing I think would be on a lot of people's mind is, what do I charge per night, per weekend, per week? Do you look at other properties on the websites like VRBO and Airbnb, et cetera? Do you just experiment, or are there websites with data available that you can, scout out some information on this?
Absolutely. There's websites that are available for you to get a good idea of what it would rent for. But there's a little bit of the other too. Like you really have to pay attention to where you're at in your cycle or your season. Let me give you an example. If you start out with vacation rentals, you don't have your super host,
Mm,
you don't have a lot of reviews. One of the things I'll be sharing a lot about is how you actually get started so that you can start to get those reviews. And in that case, you might find out what the market is charging, and we charge just a little bit less than that to make our properties worth the risk until we start to build up those
sure.
reviews. So that's definitely something that you take a look at, or seasonally, if you have a cancellation, like we just had a cancellation in one of our properties, and it was a pretty last minute cancellation. So we went out and we put it back on the market as, at a pretty good price, because we're looking for someone that sees it and says, you know what, let's head to Florida and book this. So there is a rhythm with it. There's definitely websites to give you an idea. And then a lot of it depends on your situation and your particular needs or your end goal with where you're at in the cycle with the vacation rental.
Great information. And finally, the last consideration I could think of that everybody would have on their mind is, how do I manage this thing? Am I going to manage it myself first, and then when I get a few, hire a property manager, or do I do the opposite? Do I get a professional first, see how they do it, and then try to do it myself?
Great question there too. And I feel like I'm giving you back the lawyer answer. I'm going to say it depends. Bill says that all the time, so I have to tease him. But sometimes when people go into short-term rentals, the main thing is they definitely want to get into vacation rentals or short term, but they may have a tax burden that they're trying to offset. Well, in that case, you would want to definitely manage it yourself, at least for that first year. Work with Bill, the attorney, work with your CPA, and create a pathway that is going to save you a lot of money. We've got some people that work with us that they're paying six figures to the IRS, and through this there's sort of a loophole, you might say, with short-term rentals. They
Mhm.
were able to not only save a lot of money, but they were able to recoup from prior tax years, which is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So in that case, there may be a reason for you to manage it. Then, other than that, just know vacation rentals, short-term rentals are very, very hands-on for property management. You've got to be on 24/7. And matter of fact, I was just seeing my phone here pop up and come alive because we've got some communication happening with one of the vacation rentals. So it's ongoing. It never stops. And so if you are able to handle that, you're able to manage that, it's great. And then I guess the third thing I would just mention, there's probably more we could talk about here, is are you living close to your vacation rentals? Because let's just say something happens. Maybe we have this where people can't figure out how to open the door, and sometimes they just really can't figure it out. And so Levi's had to jump in the car, drive over there. Well, you
Right.
can't do that if you're an hour away,
Sure.
or even a half hour away. You have to be available.
That's right. That's right. Well, great information, Karen. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and wisdom and experience. with our audience, and we should tell them about the upcoming event, December 7th at wealthbuilders.org. There is an option for attending streaming over Zoom, and we'll have Q&A sessions where you can ask questions even if you're watching Zoom. If you don't attend live, though, you can't ask their questions. You can't ask as many questions that if online as if you get there. So we highly encourage you to come. It's in Denver, Colorado. It's an all-day event. It's 8:30 to 6:30. And then there's a VIP option for Friday night, but go to the website, wealthbuilders.org, and check it out. Any final thoughts that you wanted to share with our people?
I just encourage everybody, if you want to learn about vacation rentals, or maybe you really want to up your game, this really is the event for you. It's really important information. Bill and I will be there all day with you, and we've got a lender coming in to talk about some financing, a lot of networking, and take advantage of the Friday night VIP, where we're going to have a nice dinner with a small group and be able to share and just really have great conversations with all of you leading up to the event the next day.
Great. Well, we look forward to seeing you there live or online, and everybody have a great holiday.